Good and new. Welcome back to New Hampshire Vintage. My name is Wyatt, and today we have a 1970 Evinrude Skeetster. And I got this sled for free, actually right down the street. My neighbor pulled into the driveway this past fall and he was like, "Hey, I see you work on old sleds. I got one out back, and do you want it?" And of course I had to say yes. So went down there and we fished it out of the shed it was sitting in for about 20 years. And I brought it back up here, stuffed it in the woods here, and here she sat. So let's do a quick little walk around. We'll bring her to the shop and do a little bit more detailed, but let's just see what we got going for us here. So I believe this is a 70-ish. It could be a 71, I'm not sure. We'll see if we can find that out. She's rough. She's not she's no museum quality model. So you can see here, floors are, or floor. Here I am thinking about cars. The running boards are pretty much shot. The seat is shot. And the skis are in good shape, actually. I mean, they're rusty and stuff, but they're all there. Windshield's cracked, which he said he accidentally did when he was doing something with this, moving it around or moving it into a different spot, or I'm not sure. Let's see here. Let's see if we can pop this hood. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, I remember now. Yeah. Seems like every critter in the Northeast has made this a home. The gas tank's plastic. That's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. It's probably full of water. I'm not sure. It's missing a key. That's good. Probably have to bypass that. That is completely... Well, brakes aren't seized. That's a good thing. Look at that air filter. It's a different kind of carb, huh? I don't think I have... Oh yeah, that's rough. She is rough. She had electric start, as you can see. Oh man. What are your chances of those coils working? Maybe if they're not eaten through or corroded, but we'll find that out. Wow, this thing is just packed full of mouse nests. I mean packed full. Like all in the fan. It's like acorns. Is this seat even attached? I forgot. No. Well, you could see the original color. Oh man. So that's the tail light, which is nice. The seat's completely shot. Just push the hood back on so we don't have to see the that's underneath. That looks a lot better. It's got some cool patina to it. I mean, it looks like it's been caught on fire or something's been kind of dripping on the side there. There's a old registration. Expires in 73. That's actually really cool. We got 77, 78, old Evinrude. Now you guys are saying, Wyatt, what are you doing with this piece? I don't really know. I mean, it's I just kind of wanted to see if we can get it running. That'd just be kind of a fun little video. I don't know, she might be too far gone to ride around, but wouldn't it be cool just to hear her bark off one more time? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just going with the flow with this one. So let's pull this thing into the shop, and I just say we just start cleaning it out first before we even do anything, because it's a mess. It's gonna be a dragger. Sorry, tell. Sorry about the heat sound in the background. Just warmed the shop up a little bit. It's been warm at the end of February, beginning of March here, so I try not to run the heat, but save some money. But anyways, to the few of you that watch my videos periodically, just want to apologize for not uploading as much this past month. I got pretty sick, and I'm finally feeling better. Everything's good, but just things got in the way for the last 3 weeks. So, but we're back, and yeah, might as well do a fun one. So really my goal in this video, I guess, is to just see if we can hear this thing light. I mean, I don't know if it will. I'm probably just wasting time, but we could try, you know, we can definitely try. I want to just start, though, like I said a little earlier, by vacuuming what I can, and then throwing this thing on a dolly real quick, wheel it outside, and just give it a good pressure wash, and just clean it up a smidge so I'm not getting tetanus and diseases. So let's start with that. Pray for this little vacuum. It's about to get some work done. Taking a quick pause of the time lapse here. Vacuumed my sweatshirt string. Well, I'm making progress. Let me show you. So I'm vacuuming up a lot of rust. It's mostly rust and half-eaten acorns. I've been finding little brackets laying on the ground there, so I've been kind of holding on to those. You can see the copyright music. This thing smells. Smells like dirt, a lot of dirt. I still have to get back there. I got a lot of that cleaned up. I got a lot down there cleaned up, and you can really start seeing the chain case here, or what is kind of a chain case. These if you're not familiar with Johnson's or Evinrude's, especially these older ones, they have an open chain case with a little oiler. So that comes from the crankcase, the bottom of the crankcase, and it just sits there and drips onto the chain case, and that's your oil. I mean, it works. I assume it probably makes a little bit of a mess, but it definitely works. You know, I never even tried to see if this thing actually rotates, but I want to vacuum up the mouse nest over on the fan side first before I even try rotating this rig or this sled, so I don't chew stuff up. I don't know. It could be frozen solid. All right, could actually see, let me turn on my light here. Could actually see down there. It's not perfect. There's still some stuff. I just couldn't fit the nozzle of the vacuum in. And you can still see there's still some gunk back there. But before I go and completely wash this thing and try to get a lot of it out, it might even just be frozen. Like, it might not even be able to turn. I mean, look at all the gunk in there, in the fins where the fan is. It could be packed full. Who knows? I mean, this thing's been sitting outside for so long. All right, so the secondary clutch isn't locked up, but the motor seems like it is. You ever, when you're working on a project or whatever hobby you're in, you sometimes wonder why you enjoy it or do what you do? Well, this is a good example for me. We're locked up, like locked up. I'm gonna try to pull the plugs and put some Arvo mystery oil in, let it sit and soak for a little bit, and see if that frees stuff up. So let's get a plug wrench on these, take these out. If they're full of rust too, you can tell by the spark plugs usually if you take them out and they're completely rusty. You know that all the inside's rusty. But we'll find out. So let's get going on that. This one loose. That one I think has still some crud around it. I did try to vacuum and pick out as much as I could, but I got this guy. Let's see what he looks like. Well, she's definitely very rough, but she doesn't look like this on the inside. Well, at least on the plug tip there, which is good. See if I can try to get a smaller pick. This thing's just so cake full. Turn on the light here so you can kind of see. So I can see. Just nervous, so I'll fall into the engine. Let me take some air. Let's do. Hold your breath. Oh, that just went right into my foot. Oh my God. It's all over my face. Oh. Oh my God. Jesus. All I smell is mouse. Oh no. Uh-oh. That cylinder wall, that cylinder is completely full of mouse house. I mean, let me see if I can get you guys a closer view. See that? That's your spark plug hole. It's supposed to, you know, kind of look like that, where you can see inside. Yeah, I'm not tearing into that engine. I've taken the whole engine assembly out of one of these before. It's not super hard, bunch of bolts, but this thing is just too far gone to really care. I mean, there's probably some parts on here I can scavenge. Gas tank, the hood. I mean, but I'm not, unless if we find a different type of donor, but it's just, this is not the Sled to do that. If this thing was, you know, clean-ish, you know, not a lot of rust or anything, and everything else was in good shape. But I mean, these things are, I was just hoping this thing would bark off, but seeing that cylinder is completely full of whatever. I mean, we can try to take it off and see what's inside there, just to see what's going on. I don't even know if half these bolts taking this engine apart, it's really going to, they're probably, most of them are going to snap or be seized or be rounded off. So we're taking a brief intermission to this video just to show you just a couple chicks that we picked up. They're super cute. This isn't a sponsor or anything. Pretty much just kind of me being a sponsor. I just want to thank you guys for subscribing to this channel and talking with me and commenting and like all that stuff. It's just really cool. It's just this hobby of mine grew just a little bit, and it's just kind of cool to see. I had a few people ask me about sweatshirts and stuff like that, merch, as the kids say, and yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting some stickers made. I want a hat, not like this. This is my GSM hat, but I had a Richardson hat, you know, with the mesh back, but with a New Hampshire vintage logo on the front, and probably something a little bit lighter, like a lighter gray might look good. And yeah, sweatshirts, I do like the maroon. It's a little bit different. There is, oh, it's hard to see. Try to do this. There is a logo on the back, and yeah, no, they're what brand are they? They're the Gildens. Pretty comfy sweatshirt. So, but all right. Anyways, enough of that. I'll show you the chicks one more time, and we're gonna get back to this cluster of a video. Say hi, chickies. So we're actually back in the woods. It's been a few days, as you can see by my change of clothes, and I'm up here at my boneyard, as you could say. Pretty much the land of free sleds I've got. And I just wanted to show you again real quick that cylinder before we move on to another little project, because I'm not going to leave you guys hanging on just a glorified cleaning of this thing. See all that? You can't even see the tip or nothing. It's just like a goo. And take a screwdriver, turn on the light here so we can see a little better. It's just like a dry, corroded, I think it's like more like corrosion in there. It's really bad here. And that's not just the stuff on the side falling in. This is what it looked like. I did put the spark plug back in just to, but it's this cylinder is pretty smoked. And as you can see, again, I know I said this earlier, this engine is just very rusted. Everything is very rough, very corroded, and it's just, I don't think it's worth trying to take out. But I mean, you guys let me know. I mean, if you guys want to see this thing again, I mean, I'm down to struggle and do something here. If you want to see what that's, it looks like it's just aluminum corrosion or whatever in that cylinder. The other cylinder seemed okay, but it's just a Sled, like I said, I got for free, and it's just a rusty pile. So, but just let me know. I mean, it's we can still do something fun with it, I guess. I mean, it's it can be seen again. So let's move on from this thing, and we're gonna do a little bonus project because I don't want to leave you guys hanging here. And yeah, let's go take a look at that. So as you saw, that was yesterday, me unloading this thing with the forklift. And yeah, here we go. This is, I believe, a mid-70s by the look at the decals and everything. My guess is a 75, 76 Colt 244 free air. I got this sled from a subscriber named Tom. Cool dude, and he was a couple towns over, and I'm not gonna disclose the price or anything like that. I don't really try to film interactions and stuff, just out of the privacy and stuff of the buyer. But I got it for cheap, okay? Pretty cheap. And I mean, it needs a lot of work, so it kind of justified why I got it so cheap. So let's do a little walk around, I guess. Here we go. Let's address the elephant in the room. It needs the seat redone. Not bad though. A little bit of rips in the foam and a little bit of showing its age, but definitely something we can rewrap. Plywood underneath, it's definitely showing its age, but the foam looks like it's like melted to it, but it's really not bad. It's not rotted or anything, so I think this is definitely savable. I'll see what the lady that does my seats says. Maybe she'll be like, no, this thing's smoked. So let me just move this out of the way. It also has the rear tail light and a little box. Oh yeah, nothing in there. So here we go. Tunnel, rusty, but it's no rust holes in it. Running boards, rusty, but same kind of deal. Plastic gas tank, which is nice. No key, no gauges. Light switch, kill switch, choke. Little taunt, but it's free. He said he put a new windshield on it. That looks pretty good. I like the straight up look on it. The hood's in fair condition. There's a pretty good crack there, a bunch of gel coat cracks. The kind of like top grill where the air comes back up through is cracked. Got one headlight. Oh, there's a crack where you can start seeing fiberglass. Skis are all there. The they're not really bushings, but the bolts seem loose. I'll have to look into that. This one's a little more tight, but still loose, giving it a lot of play. And bumper has been hit. Let's look underneath. He said he put a chain on to keep the hood up. Clutches are a little rusty. So if you see down here, you can see that's all rusty. It's best to try to clean that up because the clutch going in and out, that's not good for any of the bearings or anything like that. The belt, obviously the belt doesn't really hit it, but I mean like just any rough surfaces isn't good on clutches. And it's just the way to eat belts up and lose power. So it's best to clean these things up. The air box with little alien tentacles sticking out of it. I don't know what the deal of that is, but it's there. Mikuni carb, very nice to see. MGK, BR80S, pretty standard plug. Yeah, a little, just a little 250. I mean, it's missing a spring. It's all right, we can get some of those. Chain case, we have to see if there's anything in that. It says the gas in it's pretty old, but you can feel it's got compression. It seems pretty good. I didn't put a compression tester on it, but just by feel. And he did get this to start up for me. We sprayed a little Cosby juice in the carb, and it lit right off. He also said too, he did new. Oh, sorry. He also said too, he did new fuel lines. Let's see if, there we go. He said he did new fuel lines for it a little while back. And oh, there's like fuel pumps leaking. And yeah, those look fine. I'm wondering how good the, yeah, they need clamps and stuff. This might have a crack in it too. And that's the only form of rust crack in it. Let's look underneath. Track shot, but still there, just showing its age. I checked the, put you guys aside. Check the drive cogs.
up there. Those look good. The slides are on their way out. She's you know, she's a project sled. So I just want to do is I'm going to go through the carb real quick, just see what that's about. And when he did start it, it wanted to kind of go, which screams to me that there's an air leak somewhere, which could be crank seals, which could be just the gasket where the carb meets the intake. I mean, there's a whole bunch of factors. But we'll first just start with the carb and go from there. My guess is we're gonna have to do crank seals on this thing, which we can do in the next episode, but I promised you guys something will run, and we're gonna get this thing to run. Or if this thing won't, we'll start something. So let's get the carb off. Oh, good. Sometimes these choke cables get seized in the carb on these Makunis, and these sometimes can be pain to get off, but luckily this one came off fairly easy. I really need to get a lift table. Back starts to hurt after a while. So looking at this carb, it's upside down. The slide and the needle looked fine, and looks like it's been kind of blocked off there. So let's see what that's about. And take this thing and just take a look at it. I think he told me he cleaned it a little while back, but I still want to see. Now I could be wrong, and you can correct me in the comments, but I believe these Makunis, you use a Japanese standard screwdriver. Even though it looks like a Phillips, they're a little bit different, and that's why when you take these bowls off, a lot of these little screws are like starting to strip out. It's because it's not the right screwdriver in it, especially if they're tight. These ones luckily are coming apart really nicely, but I believe with these carbs, the Kunis, what are they, the Kians that you can see on like Honda 3-wheelers, these are what you need. I mean, a Phillips will work if you're easy with it, but these aren't that much money to pick up and get them right on Amazon. Really just more smells like old gas than anything. What's nice about these Makunis is after a while you want to replace these gaskets, but a lot of the times they'll just come right off, and I've reused these old gaskets so many times, and usually they don't leak. Sometimes you'll get a couple that fail you, but okay, let's see if we can slide that right out. Sometimes these get stuck too. Luckily this one's coming right apart. Here's our little needle. Doesn't look like in bad shape. Sometimes there's little nicks on the top there, or scratches that will allow fuel just to barely leak through. Yep, that one's good. The Venturi tube looks good. That was a little tight. Take your time with these things, no rush. There we go. Just a little gasket stuck on there, but That's open too, which is good. Should use a pick. If you don't have a kit, should be very easy with these. Little gasket. We got our idle here. Like 1.5 from seat. Obviously we're going to need to adjust it, but idle's pretty easy. Yeah, she's a little dirty, but not too bad. And there we go. Just gonna plop this guy right in the ultrasonic cleaner. It's pretty clean, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna take our floats off. I've done how-tos on carburetors before. I'm not an expert. I don't take everything apart, clean everything, but there we go. Little light caps, and then these floats with the little bar on the bottom. I've done, you can see here, there's a little up. I've done it before. I've accidentally put them in upside down like that and wondered why the carb's dumping gas. I'm gonna take both those guys off. In here looks relatively clean. I'm gonna take this guy off. I don't like this plug, but maybe it works, and I'm gonna screw it right up. But 14 millimeter, this little plug guy here. That's what this guy's about. There's a little jet. It's been unscrewed before. You can see a little mangled on one side. Sometimes you can get these out by just holding it. Sometimes you can't. I just one used my vise, and I just vise this side here, and then it gives me room to do that. Ooh. Okay, this guy was open, but he had just a little bit of crud come out. That could do something. So I'm gonna throw all these guys in. That guy's good, all those are good. All right, well that's going and super loud. I'll be right back with you once it's clean. While that's running over there, hopefully it's not too hurtful on the ears. We're gonna just kind of take out this old gas. He says the gas is a few years old, so there's not a lot. It's only looks like a little under a quarter, so I'm gonna try to get that out. I have a little bit of fresh stuff I got a little bit of fresh stuff that we can throw in it just to help it out a little bit, and yeah, go from there. So let's take this stuff out. I think it needs a crank seal, by the way. I'm looking at this motor. Well, I'll just bring you guys in after. Let's do one thing at a time. We're getting too ahead of ourselves. I've had this little gas sucker doodad for a long time, and I never changed the batteries on it. I mean, for like a long time, I'm talking years. Probably shouldn't have said that, because now it seems dead. When I say I've had that thing for a long time, the battery says 2014. I don't know if that's the manufacture date. I could be wrong, but that kind of makes sense to me. I got that a long time ago. I think my thing died on me. Unfortunately, my little sucker doodad died, so we are gonna just take the tank off. These bolts are pretty much off anyways, and this will just bloop, slide off, slide off, and then we can actually check the intake, the line that's in the tank too, because those like to go, and just make sure this thing's good. So let's get these nuts off. Doing it the wrong way, Wyatt. I know. Not how it comes off, Wyatt. I know. What I'm gonna just do is I'm just gonna cut this fuel line, because I'm just gonna put a new one on with a new filter anyways. Just why not? Where is... Oh, also my Icon pliers broke. I was just cutting a little piece of metal wire, so I'm gonna bring these back and see if I can get those replaced. They were working great for a while. So we're just gonna boop. Grab this guy. Okay. Let's see how that gas is. So we're going to take the best tool in the world here and just loosen this guy up and just see what we got on the other side. There's something moving around. So this one's just a metal weight, it's not a screen, which is fine. That's why you just filter it after. But actually all looks good. Newer lines, not all cracked. Get in a little more. So that's all good. Alright, our carb's done cooking. So let's take a look at that. Just gonna go rinse these real quick and we'll throw it back on together. We got our carb all cleaned up. I accidentally lost, there's a little washer that goes right there. So I have a little copper one. Fits perfect. So I'm just gonna throw that guy back on. I'll just give him a quick little tightening, nothing huge, don't go crazy. Just like that. I've tightened this up before where it boop, snaps off and you're gonna have a bad day. So that guy's good, he's on. Might be able to, I have this kit right here, has a bunch of assortment of rubber washers. Might be able to throw a new one on. Try not to stab yourself here. There we go. Yeah, this old one's just junk. There we go. Guess I can get roughly what size. A little bit smaller. Yeah. Sure. Look at that. That should do. Okay, so we got a new one of those. There is a rubber washer on the back here. If you get a Mikuni rebuild kit, usually it comes with one of those. I'll show you. I don't think I have a Mikuni rebuild kit, but this one's still fine. It's a little flat, but not a big deal. I don't think I don't have any that's big enough to go around that. These came off too. This is just your gasket, as well as, you know, that whole deal. I don't know which way it was the bigger gasket on first, and then this guy was on the engine. I might have a gasket, I'll look, but that could also be your air problem as well if this washer isn't thick enough. I'll look to see if I have one, but we'll worry about that after. Let's keep going here. So I'm gonna put our I don't really know what this is called, but it's our little doodad that goes on the bottom of the carb here. And I'm gonna get a better washer or rubber O-ring here, something that probably will work a little better. Maybe, probably not, it might leak. Maybe we should do a thicker one, something like that. That might be a little better. Give her a couple tighten downs without blowing out our washer. We'll try it. I don't know how confident I feel about it. Remember, put your floats with the little metal rod facing down. And you have your little caps. Some higher quality kits will come in new ones, but if you take them off carefully, you can get them back on, as I struggle with that one. Okay, back on. Let's just stop the floats. Okay. And I'll go back to our seat here. Get our little washer that isn't this guy screwed on. Not super tight, just snug. That's all you need. Oop. You could tell, I call it a fork, there's probably a proper term. You could see wear marks. So you know this, because it pretty much looks identical. There's a little notch, if you can see that. But just put the wear marks where they're facing back up. Don't forget your newly used gasket here. There we go. You don't have to cram these things down either. I just like to get them all started nice and snug. Run them home a little bit, nice and snug, not too tight. Okay, hopefully, we'll see if that holds up. I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. If not, we'll address it differently. Oh yeah, we need to forget our, last but not least, idle screw. If I remember right, it was a turn and a half from seat, right there, half, one, and we'll just go a little more right there, and we'll adjust it as we go. Forget our gaskets, and I'm going to recheck to see if we have those, as well as a new O-ring. Alright, so I got the carb put back on, tightened up, new gasket. I found gaskets, I couldn't find a little rubber, so I kind of put another gasket on, maybe too many of them, but oh well. So I have this fuel line, new stuff. I get that this is off Amazon, it's kind of cheap. I don't really like it. After a while, it gets kind of, I don't know,
I'm not a fan of it. If you guys know where to get good fuel line, let me know. Tractor Supply actually has a decent set, but it only comes with like, I don't know, like 3 feet of it. Like this at least is 10 feet, but I don't know. I want to just see where I can find better fuel line, and it's been kind of tough for me to find it. Another thing that I kind of ran into, I was gonna kind of move this belt off of the way, out of the way, and I was like, you know what, let's just try to spin the secondary, just see what happens, and it's like locked up. Could be the brake. This thing doesn't have brakes, but it was a like a fluid reservoir, it was like hydraulic brakes. So maybe it just the pad stuck. If that, or we might have to take the chain case apart and see what's going on, why it's not moving. My guess is it's the caliper, the brake caliper, or the setup there is causing it to bind up a little bit, but we'll worry about that in another episode. Let's just get this thing going and seeing how it runs. Not to mention, this came with a couple extra parts. Looks like this is a newer grill for the top, and I think he was saying this is for the seat, but it also came with a new fuel filter, so I'm just going to run that. The old one didn't seem bad, but might as well just slap a new one on. So let's get the tank back on, and we'll run the line to the carb, and we'll maybe give her a little shot of spray and see how she does. I mean, it's maybe we can take the spark plug off too and just see if that's in good shape or not. I don't know why, but I think Polaris is just giving me a hard time. I had a Mustang a little bit bigger than one of these, close to the same year, and that thing was just giving me problems. And this one, so far, you know, it's in rough shape, but we'll see how it goes. But besides the Snow Traveler I have, these things just, I don't know, it's like they just don't like me. Tank here, spring. Kind of sits in place. It looks like it. Get you guys closer here. I do have a spring puller, but the way this angle is, my big head's probably in the way. Come on, you're so close. Let me try that. When you're home. Too good for your home? Yeah, you get that reference. Come on. All right, we're back to operation needle nose. I seemed like I got closer with those. Maybe I can be smart here. Push the tank back, clip the spring, keep it from, clip the spring, run this through, I almost forgot to hook up the choke. Not too tight, nice and easy. Oop, okay. Is that, oh yeah. Cable's definitely smoked, but that's all right. Throttle's like butter. Spark plug wire is a little shot. So this fuel line comes with little chintzy clamps. They work all right. They're better than nothing. I don't have any hose clamps right now that are small enough for higher quality stuff, but I'm just kind of put it on there like that. Make sure you rotate the clamp where you can't get your, oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay. Then we're gonna find a place where to cut. Make sure you find out which way flow is. Flow. Cut him. Nice chintzy clamp. I don't think it's going to do anything because this just. That's not good. These are all I got with the little twist tab. It's going to have to work for now. I just want to hear this thing run, and if I can hear you run good and everything like that, we'll keep working on you. Let's be honest, that little thing's probably going to be on there forever. So, we're good here. We got a new line, new fuel filter, we got a leaky fuel pump. I got to order one of those, but for now it should be fine. And I just need to connect this upper line. All right, if you don't look at it, it looks good. So put that, it's kind of hard to see, but we put that old school clamp back on down there. And then I just used another one of these yellow clamps. And it's just so we can run it. If this thing runs and we have to take this engine back off anyways, we'll get proper new fuel lines and just trying to get it so it can go. So carb's back on. You can see I have a gasket. There's like a little spacer and then a gasket. I didn't have a second gasket on it, but I just threw it on to try to help it. I think that's where a lot of the air was going through. But if you look, it's pretty dirty down there, right by the seal there, and you can't really see it. Obviously, that covers, but I think the crank seals on this thing are shot. But we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna see if she fires up. We'll throw a little gas down it and go from there. Well, 40 to 1 won't hurt nobody. I'm gonna take this spark plug off real quick. So I want to show you guys. See that wire starting to. If we go through this thing, put a new wire on it. BR80S, pretty standard plug. I think I have a new one, but we'll see what condition this one's in. Oh, geez, she's meant. Kind of hard to see down there in the cylinder, but it looks all right. Okay, well, we'll put this guy back in. Right there. Sure. Okay, fuel line hooked up, gas in the tank. Probably should try to prime this before we... So we're gonna give her a little snort of starting fluid. I know some of you guys don't like starting fluid, but that's all I got right now. I don't have a 2-stroke spray bottle, so we're just gonna open up a little bit like that. Make sure our kill switch is in the middle. All our little tiny bolts and pieces where they'll rattle off, and let's try it. Here we go. Yes. I was hoping I could try to tune it, but did you hear how it's like wants to rev up a little more once it gets going? I think there's air coming into it. Give her a little more. I don't think that was enough for... All right, I cleaned it up so we don't have stuff rattling all over the place here. Let's give her a little bit more of a snort of starting fluid. Get her back going again, see if we can get that hole to fill up. What a cool little unit. Yeah, you might have saw me spraying some starting fluid. I was spraying it down by the crank seal there. I'd spray some here and she would quiet down. I tried adjusting the idle and it's not doing anything. So there's definitely air going through, and my guess is right here. I still think crank seals is a good idea. I'm not opposed to that. I've done them before. They're a little bit of a pain, but I think this engine is worthy of it. The clutch did go in a little bit. I revved it a little too high and it hit the belt, but that's all right. It's nothing out of the world. Yeah, I think there's... I want to get a new rubber gasket there, maybe a new spacer or whatever those are called, and clean that up and see if we can get that going. Does not have a kill switch that is working, so we're going to have to see what's going on with that. And fuel pump still leaking. It's weeping a little bit, but I think that being rebuilt would be good. Has an exhaust leak there, wonder why. And I put the seat back on real quick because I just want to see if the taillight worked, and it worked a little bit. Just me being excited. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was kind of all over the place. We started with a whole different sled, but that's just how they go sometimes, and sometimes they're just not worth rebuilding. Unless you guys want to see something with that. Also, what do you want to see this thing become? Do you want to see it kind of restored? I don't know if it's a worthy enough worthy enough candidate for a full restoration. It's kind of past that. Is it too far gone? Not really, but also it's not, I don't know. I would find a much cleaner project to start with. But maybe we can make it a kind of a cool mod sled, maybe do something with that, maybe do like a cheap rebuild or cheap restoration in a way, you know, repaint some things, clean her up, and just make it a fun yard sled. Let me know. All right, I am at 5% battery, so I'm going to go. I will hopefully see you guys very soon.